Hey, what's up guys, Brad here. Today we have Signer Kalin finally available in Duel Links to unlock. We're going to go through all of his new cards, his new skills, and see what the whole process is like. Now we do have, before that, special duels have been postponed unfortunately. Until when is this? This is just a later date or time due to an issue with the event data. Okay. Great, okay, well, it would have been kind of weird to have special duels at the same time as the brand new ranked duels. Would have been kind of conflicting. But we have Kalin in Duel Links. We're in 5D's world already. We can unlock him, it says in the top right. I'm going to click on the event, and I might be able to get him straight away without dueling, because I don't know where I left off with the Earthbound Immortal. Raid complete, here we go. So we assisted a little bit, I think. Yes, it's just, do we get any cool pools here? We get nothing cool. We got Witty Phantom, which is great, I guess. But there we go, yeah. Okay, so right into the unlock for Kalin. This is enough to satisfy my desire for revenge. Okay, let's keep dueling. Not for fun. Earthbound Immortal Kokopakapoo. I think we're going to get that in his starter deck. Which is really cool because that means that then future characters can have their cards in their decks rather than being tied behind skills. So I wonder if Konami actually heard... Yeah, so there we go. Kalin unlocked. I wonder if Konami actually heard the feedback regarding the first wave of characters, like, you know, Jack, Trudge, those are the first, like, those are already in the game files from launch, and Kalin is our first non-launch character. So I wonder if they heard the feedback and they're going to change it so that these characters are now a little bit more normal. More chests to go through. Anything cool here? Just 5 gems. Okay, that's cool. But let's go and see what Kalin has in his deck, in his skills. And finally, we can spin the wheel. The wheel is complete. We can spin the wheel. And there we go. Signer Kalin Kessler. Let's go to his deck real quick. Up here, it doesn't say starting deck, it's just blank for us, which is great. What do you have? Do you have it? Yes! Okay, a glossy copy of Earthbound Immortal Kokopakapoo. That's going to be really, really fun to play around with and see exactly how good that card's going to be. So hopefully we'll have like a PvP video this week. I do want to, now it's July, get back to doing a load of content. So yeah, again, a very standard deck here, just a bunch of absolute trash, which we've had a ton of already, which is, it's whatever. Now, on to the good stuff, on to Kalin's actual rewards. We have level 3, Memory Crusher. I think we have about 21 billion copies of this card already, so that's not too great. Level 4, Dark Tuning 100. I believe this one is... There we go, this one is the skill, like all the other characters, is the skills that adds in his ace, 100 Dice Dragon, which we have one off from the event already, and 2 copies of Infernity Avenger, which I believe I hope we're getting one of these. I think we are. But this, if you've been playing the event, the Kalin event, this card has been probably the bane of your existence for farming him, or for, like, you know, guaranteeing you can beat him in one duel, because he'll keep bringing this card back. So unless you have things to deal piercing damage, then you won't be able to get over this. But this is a very, very good card, and glad we're getting this in a guaranteed skill rather than one that has to you have to wait for it to level up. Then at level 7 we're getting Infernity Dwarf. This card, while you have no cards in your hand during battle between the attacking monster you control and a defense which your monster whose defense is lower than the attacking monster, inflict the difference as bad damage to your opponent. That's trash. It's just piercing, but it's a terrible card. Unless it, like, in before this is some key card to the Infernity deck, I don't think it is. But this... Oh wait, an attacking monster you control. So it's just any. This is a field-wide piercing. That's... Okay, that makes it a little bit better. But still, it's a level 2 800 attack. You're going to be putting this on board. It feels like a waste of a zone to me. So I don't know whether I'd personally play it, but you might do. The deck might need it or something. Then we have another Memory Crusher. Yay. Then we have Earthbound Revival. Discard 1 card, target 1 Earthbound Immortal, and a field spell in your graveyard, add them to your hand. That's okay, not amazing. Obviously, Earthbound Immortals require a field spell to be on the field to be played, so this is okay if your opponent, like, blows up a field spell or whatever. So that's kind of cool, I guess. Not the greatest reward in the world. Level 13 skill, Seal of the Immortal. So an Earthbound Immortal skill. Where is this skill in here? It is here. Okay. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, Earthbound Immortal monsters cannot be destroyed by their own effect. This skill is a hard once per duel skill. okay, that's pretty good. It gives you a chance to recover to get a field spell on the field, and yeah, that's not too bad. Like maybe even if you don't have a field spell, like you could just guarantee like an OTK or something with 4,000 attack because that's how big Kokopakapu is. I think he is. I think he's 4,000. So maybe you're about to guarantee that, but seems like a cool skill and one that'll be fun to play around with at least. What else do we get? We're getting another copy of Dwarf, that's our second, and there we go, our first copy of Avenger, one of the better Infernity cards, Infernity Tuner, that we're going to be using for the deck at the moment. When a monster you control except Avenger is destroyed by battle when the opponent's monster sent to the graveyard, while there's no cards in your hand, you can special summon this card from your graveyard. In that case, the level of this card is equal to the level of destroyed monster, so it's a tuner that can bring itself back and make its level a different level. So that's pretty good for just even a generic synchro deck. So pretty cool, but it does require an Infernity monster to be... Oh, it isn't any monster as well. It's not just Infernities, which is really, really cool. So you can just splash this in any random deck, which is really, really nice. Then we have another Memory Crush. Okay, there's our third one of the unlock, but I believe we have like tons of them already. Then we have a level 20 skill. This is Wave Motion Inferno. I believe this just takes on the effect of the card. This is the if you have no cards in your hand, this skill increases the attack and defense of all infirmities you control by 400. It doesn't say whether it's a hard once per turn skill, or whether it's just a looming skill or something, or whether you can activate this multiple times, you know, keep it 400 one turn, and that attack point stays, and then next turn activate again, and then gain more 400. So interesting to see how the skill actually works in combat. So pretty cool if it works that way. If it doesn't, it's just a one-time 400, that's still okay. It's kind of like a ties that bind for Infernities, which is really, really cool. Then we have another copy of Revival. Okay, our third copy of Dwarf. That makes 3, obviously. Then we have Infernity Guardian. This one is pretty tilting. While you have no cards in your hand, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. That's pretty cool, especially if you're running one of the skills Kalin has to start your hand off with 0 cards in it. You open this on your second turn. This could be pretty cool in combination with 100 Eyes Dragon on your field, so that's a very, very nice card. And is there anything else of note? Another Revival. We have Infernity Break. We're actually getting this one. This is really, really good. If you have no cards in your hand, target one Infernity card in your graveyard, and one card your opponent controls, banish the first. If you do, destroy the second target. It's removal for your opponent's cards. Really, really nice. And of course, Infernity like being in the graveyard, so you're always going to have something in the grave to be live for this effect. So very, very nice. And finally, of course, yeah, because 5 of these only goes up to 35, that's kind of disappointing. We have Necromancer, which is going to be a very integral part to the Infernity deck, if not now, in the future. And this means that the deck is going to be hard limited by the fact that it is partially behind a character unlock. Like things like Avenger, that's going to be in the main box, you can kind of guarantee that. But any more Necromancers have to be level up rewards or via events or like a bingo mission or something. So we're always at the mercy of Konami for getting more copies of Necromancer for Break and for Avenger. So Necromancer, of course, is the one that lets you special summon an Infernity monster in the graveyard if you have no cards in your hand. So very, very nice card. Automatically goes to defense when it's summoned, which is great as well for that 2000 defense. Very, very cool card. Now, what else unique skills does Kalin have? He has, so we have Handless Combo 100. This is the one I was talking about before that lets you start the duel with 100 eyes in your hand, and you or the field, sorry, and you have 0 cards in your hand. So it's very similar to that Paradox Brother skill, the one that starts with Gate Guardian on the field. But I think you're in a better position with this one because A, 100 eyes is a very, very cool card, has a very good effect, and B, you still have all your life points. You just don't have like 500 like you had with Gate Guardian. You have a good monster on board turn 1, and when it's destroyed, you also search out Earthbound Immortals, so maybe this is going to be the skill you use when playing Kokopakapu right now, because you'd get it on board right away. When it's destroyed, you then get to search out for your Kokopakapu, then hope that you have some way of summoning it on a future turn. So I don't know why I started there, but yeah, on a future turn, see if you got a way to summon it. So 100 eyes, and the skill is very, very nice. Then we have Immortal Offerings. This is, okay, this I think right now is the worst skill of Kalin's, because at best right now it gets you 1 token, because we only have 1 Earthbound Immortal in the game. So this is very clearly going to be a skill that comes along with every Dark Signer we're getting, and we're obviously going to be getting more Earthbound Immortals probably in boxes. Like I feel like Misty's will be in a box, I feel like a couple others will be in a box as well. Reveal 1 to 3 Earthbound Immortals in your hand, then play an equal number of ceremonial tokens on the field in defense mode, and the only thing you can do that turn is summon the Earthbound Immortals. So a very fair card, I think, a very fair skill at least, but again one that right now is very, very limited for play. So gonna take a while for us to actually build up a lineup of Earthbound Immortal cards to be able to actually use the skill to its fullest. Then we have Immortal Charity, which I believe is the, it's the one that gets you a random copy of Whirlwind, Wave, or Roar. We talked about this, I believe Whirlwind was the best one, I think. Yeah, Whirlwind is the Feather Duster for the archetypes, that's a very, very cool card. Wave we got in this event as a normal card, so again, this kind of negates this skill being as good as it could be because we have one of those cards in the game already. And then we have Roar the Earthbound, which has Misty's Earthbound Immortal on it, and is the one that, oh, that's the real meanie one, isn't it? Yeah, that's the burn one. Wow, okay, that's the one that's going to be very tilting to play against if you play against this. So if you actually manage to draw into this one with a skill. So could be a very, very cool combo to use with this card and with Earthbound Immortal. So fun there. Then we have One Card Wonder. This one I think is going to be very, very useful for farming decks. Your starting hand will contain only 1 card during the duel. Your normal draws become 2 cards. That's pretty crazy. You could just Pot of Greed every turn. Of course, you're starting off with a bit of a deficit on turn 1, but slowly regaining that. If you go turn 2, then you're at 3 cards, and then by the time you get to your 3rd turn, you're now you've made up that deficit a good amount. So very, very cool skill, and definitely one that I think will be very popular with people playing on the ladder, because just the fact that you're drawing 2 cards per turn is going to throw your opponent off quite a bit, because that then opens you up to getting even more benefit out of your draws. So even though you're drawing less at the start, later on in the duel it's going to help you out quite a bit really. So very, very nice. Then we have, what else do we have? We have Infernity Inferno. Okay, this is the one that lets you just send cards from hand to the graveyard and then send Infernities from your deck to your graveyard. So just bolstering that graveyard lineup, putting the Avengers in there, the Necromancer, putting everything you need there, and it's pretty cool. I think this one might be useful for Infernities. This might be the best Infernity skill we have to just enhance the archetype right now, but still a very, very cool skill. And Kalin has, I think, some of the best on-archetype skills we've got on. Like Crow could have some really cool Blackwing skills, but he didn't, you know. Jack could have some Red Dragon Archfiend themed skills that are actually good, but he didn't. Leo could have some Morphtronic skills that were good, but he didn't. And finally we have Kalin with some very, very cool Earthbound Immortal and what are they called? Infernity skills, that's the one. Infernity skills are very, very cool and are, you know, are going to be going to be a ton of fun to play around with when we do finally unlock them. I'm going to start grinding this guy out right away. Let me know what you think about Kalin, whether you've unlocked him yet or not. Again, you need like 320,000 points for this event, so you should have had it by now just by playing. It's a very, very easy event to go through. And yeah, let me know your thoughts on Kalin down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.